The war between humanity and the Val'kareth Dominion had raged for 6 standard years. To the Val'kareth, it was supposed to be a swift conquest. Their fleets spanned hundreds of worlds, their warriors bred for battle since birth. Humanity, by contrast, was young, chaotic, and unrefined. But they were also something else, stubborn. And among the ranks of the stubborn was Captain Elias Ward, a soldier of the Terran Expeditionary Corps. Beginning the Battle of Vehlara Prime. Vehlara Prime was not Earth, nor even within human space. It was a jewel world, lush forests, glowing rivers, and a sky that shimmered with violet auroras. Once, it had been the Val'kareth royal colony. Now it was a war zone. Captain Ward led what remained of his platoon through the ruins of Veh'lara's capital citadel. Smoke drifted across broken marble pillars carved with alien runes. Above, the orbital sky burned with streaks of plasma fire. "Command says evac in 2 hours," his comm officer reported. "But the princess hasn't been found." That stopped him cold. The princess. Rumors whispered through the ranks. A Val'kareth royal taken hostage by her own people when she tried to negotiate peace. Ward had his orders. Find her, extract and survive. They breached the inner sanctum. The air shimmered with heat. He found her there, wounded, bound and defiant. Her silver skin dulled with blood, and eyes glowing faintly gold. When she saw the Terran insignia on his armor, she flinched. "You are human," she hissed. "You came to gloat." Ward holstered his weapon. "No, ma'am. Came to get you out alive." The princess blinked, confused, wary. "Why would a human save me?" He smiled grimly. "Because you asked for peace. That makes you worth bleeding for." A plasma bolt struck the wall near them. Ward turned, firing back with his pulse rifle. 3 enemy soldiers fell. He grabbed the princess, covering her body with his own as shrapnel tore through the air. The blast hit him. Sharp pain lanced through his side. Blood soaked his armor. He didn't stop. He just kept moving. By the time they reached the evac shuttle, Ward had lost half his blood and most of his breath. The princess, trembling, pressed her hands over his wound. "Stay awake, human." He tried to laugh. "You're lighter than you look. Don't let go." Her voice softened, something between a command and a plea. "Do not die for me." Ward's vision dimmed. Too late for that. Middle, the Palace of Stars. He awoke in light. Not sterile white hospital light, but golden light, refracted through crystalline walls that hummed like a song. He lay on a bed woven of shimmering fiber, surrounded by alien healers. And standing over him was the one face he remembered, the princess. "You live," she said softly. Ward's chest hurt when he tried to sit up. "That's still up for debate." She smiled faintly, then gestured. 2 Val'kareth healers bowed and left. "You bled for me, Captain. The Queen herself commands that you recover here, in the Palace of Stars." He blinked. "The Queen? Your mother?" The princess nodded. "She is not known for mercy. Yet she owes you a life debt. You saved her bloodline." Ward remembered the last seconds of the battle, dragging her across the courtyard, covering her from enemy fire. He hadn't done it for politics or debt. Just instinct. "I didn't do it for her," he muttered. "Then why?" she asked. He looked at her, really looked at her. The faint scars on her arm. The way her expression flickered between pride and sorrow. Because no one deserved to die trying to stop a war. Days turned into weeks. Ward's body healed, though the Val'kareth healers marveled at how slow human regeneration seemed. The princess, her name was Sira, visited him daily. She brought stories of her people, their ancient wars, their rigid caste system. And Ward told her of Earth, of blue skies, street food, and the smell of rain on metal rooftops. Became companionship. Until the Queen summoned him. The Queen of the Val'kareth. The throne room was vast, marble and gold, with twin suns blazing through a ceiling of transparent stone. The Queen sat upon a dais of living crystal. Her presence radiated power. Her gaze could have shattered steel. Ward knelt awkwardly. "Captain Elias Ward, Terran Expeditionary Corps, ma'am." The Queen studied him in silence. Her eyes were ancient. "You are the one who bled for my daughter." "Yes, Your Majesty. She says you saved her life. At great cost to your own." Ward said nothing. Humility felt safer than pride. The Queen rose, her voice echoing. "Do you know what such an act means in our law, human?" He frowned. "I imagine I'm due a thank you card." A ripple of murmured outrage passed through the court. But the Queen only smiled, cold and amused. "You mock with bravery. Admirable." Then her tone shifted, softer, heavier. "Among the Val'kareth, to bleed for royalty is to bind yourself to their house. You are now of my court, bound by the right of the wounded." Ward blinked. "I didn't agree to that." "You didn't have to. Blood speaks louder than consent." The princess stepped forward, alarmed. "Mother, he is human. His people will not understand our laws." "They will learn," the Queen said sharply. "Or they will lose him." Ward stared. "Lose me? You mean I can't go home?" The Queen's eyes softened just barely. "You saved my child. I will not let you die among strangers." Ward realized with a cold shock that she wasn't threatening him, she was claiming him. Conflict between two worlds. Word spread quickly. The human who saved the princess, now bound to the Val'kareth throne. Some saw him as a hero. Others whispered, "Pet." Ward's recovery became political theater. Every movement, every word analyzed. Even Sira seemed torn, caught between gratitude and guilt. "You do not belong here," she said one evening, standing with him on a balcony overlooking twin suns. "My mother means well, but she sees everything through the lens of power." "I've noticed," Ward said dryly. "She will not release you easily." Ward leaned against the railing, watching ships drift across the horizon. "I didn't ask for a crown. I just wanted to stop the bleeding." Sira turned to him, her golden eyes searching. "Would you go if she let you?" "Yes," he said without hesitation. Then quieter. "But I'd come back if you asked." That silenced her. The alien princess, proud and poised, suddenly looked human. Test. The Queen, perhaps sensing their growing closeness, decided to test him. A Val'kareth general, arrogant and skeptical, demanded proof of Ward's worth. "He is flesh of clay," the general sneered. "Let him fight and prove his honor." The Queen agreed. "If he bleeds for our house, he must bleed again." Ward didn't refuse. Humanity didn't back down. The arena was circular, filled with the hum of alien energy. The crowd chanted. Ward stood bareheaded, armed with a borrowed plasma blade, the alien weapon heavy in his grip. His opponent was twice his size, armored in black carapace. The duel began. The general moved first, fast, precise, lethal. Ward barely parried the first strike. Sparks flew. He ducked, rolled, countered. His ribs screamed in protest. The alien laughed. "You fight like prey." Ward gritted his teeth. "You talk too much." He feinted left, slid under the alien's swing, and drove his blade upward, cutting deep into the armor seam. The general howled. Ward didn't stop. He fought like humanity always had, with desperation, fury, and defiance. When it ended, the general lay defeated, armor cracked and sparking. Ward stood over him, breathing hard, his blade glowing red-hot. The queen rose from her throne. Enough! The arena fell silent. Then, she descended the steps, stopping before Ward. You have proven yourself, Terran. Not by bloodline. By will. Ward dropped to one knee, exhaustion catching up. Permission to stand down, ma'am? She smiled, the faintest curve of regal lips. Denied. The crowd erupted in cheers. For the first time in Val'kareth history, an alien, a human, had won the right of honor. The Queen's dilemma. Later, in the quiet of her private chambers, the Queen stood with her daughter. You feel for him, she said softly. Sira didn't deny it. He is brave, selfless, and foolish. He saved me without knowing who I was. The Queen nodded. He reminds me of your father. Silence hung heavy. Then the Queen said something no one expected. Perhaps it is time we end this war. The Peace of Vehlara. Weeks later, a treaty was signed, the Accords of Vehlara Prime. For the first time, Val'kareth and human diplomats sat side by side. The symbol of peace was a single drop of red and silver, human and Val'kareth blood intertwined. Ward stood beside Sira during the ceremony. Cameras flashed. History recorded. Afterward, he approached the Queen one last time. With respect, Your Majesty. I'd like permission to return to my people. The Queen studied him for a long moment. Then, with an expression that was neither smile nor frown, she said, You could stay. You have honor here. Place. Even family. Ward looked at Sira, the alien princess who had become his closest friend, maybe more. He reached out, brushed a strand of silver hair from her face. You'll always have my loyalty. But home's calling. The Queen nodded slowly. Then go, human. But know this. The Val'kareth do not forget those who bleed for them. Our bond is eternal. Ending, the human who changed a civilization. Elias Ward left Vehlara aboard a Terran ship under truce flag. He returned not as a soldier, but as an ambassador. The war ended within a year. Trade and diplomacy flourished. The Val'kareth even began adopting aspects of human culture. Curiosity, individualism, laughter. And sometimes, when he gazed at the stars, Ward could almost hear her voice echoing through the void. Do not die for me, human. Too late for that, he'd once said. Now he lived for her and for peace. Across the galaxy, songs were written, not of kings or conquerors, but of one Terran soldier who bled for an alien princess and earned the respect of a queen. Humanity had once again proven what no empire could understand. We fight not for dominance, but for the hope that something better can rise from the ashes.